Okay, hoi, it's Mootje met Desha, and
We're back together.
welcome back again to another podcast. I actually liked the first part when we were talking about traveling to Bali and Thailand. Um, so this year I wanted to travel to Thailand and just go to those Asian countries because the average cost of living is very, very low. And we always spend so much money in Holland and in America.
Yeah, both countries are so expensive.
Yeah. And so I wanted to go there and just
Yeah, and then we decided to get married, so that is.
You say you decided to
No,
get married.
we decided to go to get married, and I decided I wanted a wedding.
Yeah.
So.
Just like a lot of new stuff that they come up with. And she wants to get married. I'm here. I want to save.
True. You're saying it wrong. We decided to get married, and I wanted a wedding.
Okay, there we go. We decided that we want to get married. That's true. And she decided that she wants to have a wedding because it's always been her kiddo favorite
dream, you know?
Yeah. Okay, but we're gonna save some money for it. And I'm here in America trying to save money for my mom's house.
Which is basically what we're gonna talk about today.
Yeah. Today's podcast is dedicated to my mama.
Yeah.
Mo mama. Tuch.
Yeah. So what's the story? Like, where do we start?
I don't know, but if you guys don't know a lot about me, my mom is my everything. She's always been my everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom's boy.
Mama's kindje.
Yeah, mama's kindje.
Goed zo.
I love my mom to death. I have a very, very strong relationship with my mom more than my dad. Crazy because
why is that
like
crazy?
because in my culture or in the Middle Eastern culture, if you're a boy, you're usually more leaned and raised by your dad and the society by telling you that, oh, your dad is your hero.
Mm-hmm.
Your dad is everything. You need to be listening to your dad. Your dad is what they say is like there's a saying that your dad is the god of the house.
Really?
Kind of, yeah. And growing up, I was raised by, your dad is the god of the house. And then as I grew and started to think outside of the box,
Mm-hmm.
I started to believe that your mom is actually the god of the house. And I have a lot of reasons. I'm not going to go all over those reasons, but
Mm-hmm.
I do believe that moms are the queens of the house, and also they're the queens of the families. I think they are the leader in the family. I really do believe that. And the reason why is because they're really, really kind, and they're really thoughtful, and they're always there for you. And actually, most of the time, I think in my case, like I think about it now, I think I was raised and was taken care of by my mom more than by my dad.
Yeah, makes sense.
My dad was a provider.
Mm-hmm.
There's big difference. When they say, oh, your dad it should be above your mom, but because your dad is the person who works, make money, and then raise you, and without that you won't be anywhere. My argument towards that is, sure, yes, but your dad is just money provider, meaning he just makes the money, but also like he's not the one waking up in the middle of the night taking care of you, listening to what you want. He's not there to listen to your emotions and feelings when you need someone to listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
He's not there to actually listen to you as thoughtful as your mom would listen to you. He's not there always to agree with what you want and just stand by your side no matter what you want in life. as much as your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And in my case, that's why I really love my mom, because she's always been a mom and a dad at the same time for me, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the biggest reason um, why I want to buy her a home. But also, like, another reasons why I want to buy her a house is because, she's struggling with living in bed bugs, like, around her, and roaches every fucking day.
Yeah.
Like I was visiting her the other day, and I saw her cooking, and then I wanted to eat the food that she was cooking, and I saw a fucking roach just walking by. Dude, I was so
I
disgusted.
could not live in that.
Yeah, I was so
much respect for them.
I was so disgusted, and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna eat this. I just saw a roach, and then my mom was like, you see, imagine, like, you saw that once. Imagine I live with it every fucking day.
That she can still sleep.
Yes.
I would not be
She
able
can't
to sleep.
sleep. She always calls me and saying, like, she can't sleep because the bed bugs always bites her. And
It makes sense.
anyways, and the sad part is her most childhood was destroyed by her family.
Why?
And because if you if she was the oldest kid out of all of her siblings, and back in the days the culture was a little different. It was more strict. And so, like, if you're a girl and you are the oldest, you're like basically the mom of your siblings.
Okay.
And so when she was young, she was already a mom by the age of 12, and she had
That's young.
6 other kids to take care of. And she would, clean up the house, cook for them, clean up their laundry, clean after their shit. And she lived through that until, like, she was 25. And the craziest part is when my dad wanted to marry her, her parents didn't want to give her up because she was taking care of everything.
Really?
So they wanted to keep her as a slave to take care of the house. And she was already done by that. And yeah.
And then she got married and started over, basically.
She got married, she got 3 kids, and she started all over again. Yeah, so she lost a lot.
This time it was her own family. She chose for her own family.
Yeah. Like, imagine a kid like her wanted to go to school, learn, be educated, have friends, go out and hang out. She never had that. She never gone to school, middle school or high school. I think she went to middle school. And yeah, that was basically her childhood. And when she got married to my dad, my dad had a problem with his side of family too. So basically in that culture, if you're a woman, if you're a girl, you basically a home slave. For some people, For my mom and dad's case, I'm only talking about my mom and
Personal
dad's.
experience.
Yes. So my mom was a slave, home slave, and my dad was a machine work. So basically, he was one of the 9 kids, I think. 9 or 11. I can't even remember how many uncle and aunts I have. But one of
Do you
them.
still have all of them?
Not all of them. No.
Oh, okay.
One of the oldest ones, and he was a work machine, meaning he would go to work and whatever he makes, his dad would take it away from him.
What?
That's another thing that they gave you an example of, oh, I planted a tree and the tree has to start giving me the fruits now. And in other words, I made these babies and now they're old. They have to take care of me and give me the money that I paid for them when they were little kids.
Well, the thing is, it's your culture. So,
Yeah.
like,
I don't like it.
I won't really understand how that works and how that feels because I've never been in there.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not the person to say anything about it. So I cannot comment on this.
Yeah. It's a lot of people don't like it, especially in this generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of kids, you know, it's it's changing. It's changing a lot. Um,
So
but
what's changing?
it's changing that like those generation, those kids
Mm-hmm.
are learning about like this is not right, you know.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're talking to their parents about it, and it's just the old heads that
Mm.
they keep thinking, you know. They they haven't gotten the updates on their system yet, you know. They still have their old system in their own brain. But you know, it's good. I do believe that, you know, helping your parents when they're old, taking care of your parents when they're old is very, very good. And I do and stand
Yep.
and believe in that until
Mm-hmm.
today. However, if your parents are doing okay, you don't need help. You know, they don't need your help. Or like,
They might need help, but not daily.
exactly.
Right? That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, you're in your 20s, you're trying to figure out what you want to do in your life. You know, you want to, you know, build future for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you need all that time by yourself, you know, and you know, you need to take care of yourself to build something for who you are, and then you can take care of your parents.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different there, you know. They want to dedicate the old heads always uh think that your kids always have to dedicate their lives to yours, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm going all over the place. But anyways, so my dad used to work, and then give all of his, or he didn't have work, and then his parents would take all that money from him
Mm-hmm.
till he was like 30 or like 25 something age. And so when he and my mom got married, he didn't have any savings or like any, you know,
Mm-hmm.
investments for himself to start his career. And all of the money that he made and gave the money to his dad took all that money and gave it to another son of his. So he gave it to one of my uncles instead of, you know, giving some to my dad. So when my parents got married, they had a very difficult life, you know, renting out houses and living
Mm-hmm.
in rent and, you know, getting from paycheck to another paycheck. And so when we moved back to Syria, um, they had to rent. When we moved back to Syria, we didn't have enough money to go and rent to live in our, you know, our own house. And so we started living with my grandparents and two other uncles. Um, and so like if you think about it, as a woman, as a married woman,
Mm-hmm.
you always want to have your privacy with your husband. You always want to have the freedom to, you know, hang out and play with your kids. Because, you know, like you're a mom and you have kids who are under 7 years old of age and you have three of them. They
Mm-hmm.
always have that energy. They always want to play. They're always loud. They
Mm-hmm.
always want to play. They always want to go out. They always want to eat. They always want to do things. It's like the energy is really high. Like, you know, like the
Yeah.
kids that we take care of, they're
Mm-hmm.
old, but they still have so much
They still have the
energy.
same energy.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Like like talk about it. You know, like when we go and hang out with them.
It never stops. Like the energy is there until they go to sleep. Like the second before they fall asleep, the energy is still there, and like the second they wake up, it's back.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and you have to keep up with them. And as a
Mm-hmm.
mom, you love that because you created those kids and you see yourself in these kids when
Mm-hmm.
they act. You know? You see your kids, you know, in these you see yourself in these kids,
Mm-hmm.
and as a mom who didn't have a childhood, you know, who missed out on everything that she had to go through,
Mm-hmm.
now you want to do as much as you can and everything that you can to give those kids your dream childhood, you know?
Yeah.
You didn't experience it, you're okay with it now, but you want to change what what those kids are going to have in their childhood, because you want the best for them, and you want to see your own childhood through the experience of those kids. And so sadly we had to live with my grandparents and my two uncles, and it wasn't very comfortable. It wasn't very easy to live in that house, because everything that you wanted for your kids and for yourself, such as freedom and love and kindness to show your kids, now it's all taken. It's taken off from you. You know, you don't have it. You don't have the power to change that. And so if you add it to your old childhood, it's like depressing, you know? It's like it's like
It's
shit.
like whatever you dreamed of is not coming.
Yeah. Whatever you wanted to go through, you didn't have. You didn't have the option to, and now you have kids that you want to. Anyways, that makes me really sad sometimes. And so anyways, we struggled, we went through it, and then we had our own house. It was a very, very small house. The house we had did not have, you know, good windows to, you know, get the sunlight in. You know, you need sunlight every day in your on your skin, you know, on your face, to get that vitamin C, I think, or something.
D.
Vitamin D.
D.
Yeah. So it was very difficult, and yeah, lived in that house for a couple years. The war started, and then we had to move around. You know, never had her own place. I didn't mention this story in the last episode, but we actually moved to a space actually just like this. We actually lived in a spot just like this when we moved back from my grandma's house back to our city. Before we went back to our own house.
You live with the 5 of you in this?
Yes, we lived in something like this, in this room, 5 of us, and actually we had the bathroom right in front of us. So we had to like put a curtain, and then every time someone would take a shit,
The whole,
the whole
room
thing,
smells.
yeah,
Oh my
exactly. So that was heartbreaking, especially for you know, a mom, honestly. You know, like, imagine.
You want the best for your kids, and she could just not give that to you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
However, she was patient. You know, she was patient for the whole time. And then we moved back to Jordan. We immigrated to Jordan.
They lived in a camp for a little bit.
We lived in a camp again. Like, what the fuck? You know? Lived in a camp again. Same shit over again. And then when we moved out of the camp, we lived in my auntie's house, one of my auntie's houses, and we lived in it with my grandparents, and they were old. They were old. My grandma was understandable. She was kind of nice. She understood the struggle of my mom, you know, and how hard she works. But my grandfather didn't. His old head, I hated that man. Yeah, he would always have some negative thing to say about my mom. And so when we lived in my auntie's houses, I think today I think about it, I'm grateful for her to offer us to live in that house for free. She didn't charge us any money. But also, on the other hand, she was very, very controllable about my mom with her parents. The only reason that she let us stay in that house for free is because my mom was taking care of her parents.
Oh, I see.
And
so your mom got another set of people to take care of.
yeah. And my father would always say negative thing about her when his kids come and visit him.
Mm-hmm.
She never heard like a positive comment from him about her.
Mm-hmm.
And she would always take care of them. She would always shower my grandma. She would always make dinner for everyone. She would always clean their room.
Mm-hmm.
She would always make them breakfast. She would always take care of them. Every day for 2 years.
Wow.
And yeah. Anyways,
And then you moved to the US.
moved to the US. That's where her dream, the beginning of her dream to start. My dad was very hesitated to come to the US, but she was very sure that she wants to come here because she wanted to get out of that negative spot of her life. You know?
Yeah.
It's like when we lived in Jordan and she wasn't very loved from my dad's family side. She would always get shit from my uncle.
Mm-hmm.
She would always get shit from my auntie, and she would always get shit from like negative things from my grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
And so like now, you know, you want the best for your kids, but now you're getting you want the best for your kids. You're dedicating your life to taking care of parents that are not yours. At the same time, you're getting a lot of fucking negative comments. You're trying your best. You're doing everything that you can do, but you're still getting negative comments. And so the biggest reasons for her was like, oh, I just need to leave this place. And when we heard about, you know, immigrating to America, it was probably the best news for her because, you know, she can just leave. And we always seen those movies like How America is So Good and American Dream. And she was like, it was like the best news to hear for her because she was like, we can build the dream house, we can work, I can take care of my family, you know, I can see my dreams finally, you know, I can see life. This is what she always says, I want to see life before I die. You know, she never has seen life ever. You know, she lives every day, but she lives for someone else, for some other people, and that makes me really sad. It's very deep of her saying, I want to see life before I die.
Yeah.
You know?
Especially to her kids.
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
She always says, I want to see the world. I want to travel.
She's scared of flying.
She wants to do it like an Airbnb, RV, like
really?
driving around. Yeah, she loves going to like barbecue.
Yes.
She loves going to places like that. She loves cooking for other people too.
Yeah. Like after I met you.
Yeah, you saw.
I met your mom 3 weeks later.
Yeah.
And then we went out for a barbecue. She cooked for us. And I kept eating because I didn't want to be rude. I didn't know how
She kept feeding you.
Yes, and I just wanted to be polite with accepting it because I didn't know what they accepted from me from the culture. Like,
yeah.
You know, so I just kept eating it. Couldn't go to the bathroom for 2 weeks afterwards because I ate so much meat. TMI. And then we still kept going to your house to pick up food.
Yeah.
Almost every day.
Yeah, every time she would cook, she
would always make extra because she knew I was with you.
Yeah. What do you think about my mom?
She's so kind. She cares more about others than herself. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's the main thing. She cares so much about others that she just forgets herself.
Yeah.
She really does forget herself.
Mm-hmm.
But she has the kindest heart. I haven't met her that often because, you know, she has always something to do. And I have always something to do too. And I'm not always in the country.
Yeah.
But when I meet her, she always remembers my name. She always remembers to give me a hug. She's learning English every day. Her conversations are getting better. She's trying so hard.
Mm-hmm.
She's really trying so hard. And you got the kindest heart from your mom too.
Thanks.
Like you're such a good person and so pure of heart. You're gonna make me cry too.
No, I'm tearing up.
Oh God.
I don't really cry, but like when I talk about my mom, I always cry. Sometimes I
But
cry
if
to
you
sleep.
cry, I cry.
I love my mom. My dad's gonna call me pussy for crying.
Oh God. No, but you're definitely your mom. Like your heart is a copy of your mom's heart. You definitely got it from her.
Mm-hmm.
Like the way you care, the way you want to have everyone around you, and like just look at the barbecue. Like 2 days ago, he was throwing a barbecue for all his friends, and he was the only one taking care of everyone. When someone walked in, you were the first one to hand everyone food, to make sure they are all having a drink, to make sure the barbecue is on in the first place. That's the same thing your mom would do.
Mm.
The first thing she did on the barbecue when I met her,
Yeah.
she gave me a hug. She made sure my hands were clean because, it was Corona.
Yeah.
No, it was not Corona yet. I don't know. Anyway, she gave me a wet wipe to clean my hands. She gave me a plate, the first one.
Yeah.
And she just kept feeding me all the different things she had. And then she showed me the pictures on her phone, what she made in the house. Like all the furniture she made by herself. She couldn't really explain the things she did, but she showed it through pictures, She wanted to tell her story. And, that just shows what kind of person she is. Like, she wants to do so much, but, she can't because she's taking care of others. And also, she's struggling with her health, too, right?
Yeah.
Like, with walking the stairs and stuff.
Yeah. Back to the story. We moved to America. It was nice because she moved here. She had her own house. She's finally done with all the negative comments and all of the negative energy around her. We actually had a nice house, and we lived in that house for 2 years. When we got here, we had the opportunity to go to high school. All of her kids, seeing all of her kids.
That was one of her dreams, probably too.
Hell yeah. Seeing all of her kids go back to, go to school, have the opportunity to be educated, and get their degrees and go to college and stuff. So that was one of her dreams to be achieved. And then the second one is just having her own place to call home, She took care of that home. And then after 2 years, we had a neighbor that was very, very dirty. And so within a couple months, when that neighbor moved in, our house had bed bugs. And so if you guys don't know what bed bugs are, they're like little bugs that will come and bite you and suck the blood out of you. And then every time they bit you, you would itch yourself. And so imagine having like 10 bed bugs on you, itching you the whole time, every night, from all over the place. So.
And once you have one, you are screwed over.
You know what I've learned? So those bed bugs, I don't know how much eggs they laid, but they laid a lot of eggs. And do you know what's the craziest part? They don't need to be fed for 6 months to be alive.
What?
So if they don't suck your blood, they can be alive for 6 months. And I think they laid 12 eggs every 3 months. I think.
That's a lot.
So those bed bugs are very, very, very dangerous. And they could be all over the place very quickly. But luckily, we moved out of that house and we moved into housings because we had we had low incomes. So housings are houses that are created by the government for low income people. We moved to that house because all me and my brothers were in high school, so we were just focusing on our education, and so we didn't have enough money to pay rent for $1,200. Paying rent in Charlottesville is very, very, very expensive.
Yes.
So if you want to get a house here, 2 rooms and 1 bathroom and and a kitchen will cost you $1,200. We are 3 kids and mom and dad. So if we want to rent a house for 3 rooms, 4 rooms, each kid needs a room.
It's like $2K.
It's like $2,000.
Yep.
And like I work now and I make $2,000 a month.
And then you haven't spent anything on any.
Nope. My expenses, just my expenses without me eating, it's like $600-$700. Car insurance, gas, the studio, pay for rent,
Phone bills.
Things come up. I have to pay car issues. It's crazy. And so we moved to this, the government housing. The first year, we had rats running all over the
place. How did you get those?
The neighbor again. There's another neighbor who is very dirty, and then he just throws so much shit in his backyard, and we the house was connected to 2 different houses, and so all of the things are connected inside, and so we would see a lot of mouses and rats hanging around in the house. So that was a really big issue because my mom scares of those creatures. And another issue is stairs. The stairs fucked my mom up really bad. My mom is very short and a little bit overweight compared to her height. And so when she walks up the stairs and down, those knees hurt. Like those knees can only carry some weight on some days. It's they can do so much, but they can't do so much at the same time. And so the stairs was already a problem, and then those mice and rats, a second problem, and then 2 years later, we started to see those roaches, and the roaches were growing so much and so fast. And then a couple months later, you would start seeing bed bugs, and it's been 3 fucking years. It's been two years. 2 years, this woman has been struggling with going up the stairs and down, seeing roaches all over her kitchen, and getting bit by bed bugs every night. And a lot of people are probably gonna say, "Oh, you can treat those bed bugs. You can have a heat in your house, and they will all die." We've done that 3 times. Whenever you have an issue in those houses, you need to call the landlord, right? They treated the bed bugs 3 times. So the roaches, they had like a tape. Those roaches we had so much roaches in the house, and so what they did was they put powders around, but those roaches didn't die. And then what they did was they gave us those like plastic with tape on them, like a paper plastic with tape. And then what you do is you just put them somewhere around all over your kitchen and your house, And then every 2 weeks, what you do, you have to go back to the spot that you put those things on, and then you would just take it and then see how much roaches you have, and then all the roaches will be stuck on those paper plastic stickies. And she has to do that every 2 weeks or once a month, and you would see so many fucking roaches. And that's the
I don't
only
understand where they come from though.
Yeah, it's just like from the neighbor, or like the neighbor is so dirty, and it's so crazy, dude.
Like, how is he this dirty to get that in a different house?
I don't know, but also like once those roaches build up their house, they can grow really fast, like so fast. You know, like bugs and roaches and all those things, they can grow so fast. And also, like, American houses are built by woods, and so
Yeah.
those houses are like perfect places for those animals to grow up and you know, get more eggs in the wood. And so the landlord tried to treat those roaches like over 5 times, and nothing happened, and they would just come over and over and over again. So my mom just gave up on it. She would just like put those sticky papers on the wall, and then she would take them once a month or every couple weeks. And then the bed bugs came in. They treated it with heating system. So the only way those bed bugs will go away is by getting heating system in your house and be 115 degrees, 115
Fahrenheit.
yeah. That's like what, 40, 50,
40, I think.
some around that number. And so they did that treatment 3 times, 3 different times, but nothing happened. You know, they would be gone for a couple weeks, and then they will come back again. And nowadays they have them again, and my parents and my brother keep calling the landlord to treat that thing again. You know what they did? They blocked their numbers.
Really?
Yeah, that's what my brother told me. He said I kept calling them and they didn't respond to me, and now I call them and they blocked my number. That's what he said. His girlfriend's mom wrote them a letter, and she kept calling them, and they just never did anything.
It's crazy.
Yeah. This woman has been struggling with a lot of shit for so long. And that's why I've been trying to do those, side hustle videos, because I really want to buy her a house. And I feel like that's the only way that I can, do to be able to buy her a house. But yeah. We talked about getting her a GoFundMe the other day. And I don't know, you explain it.
I didn't set it up. I don't know what you wrote in it or anything.
Yeah, but like coming up with the idea of doing GoFundMe.
Well,
I think
I don't know how to explain it.
you can explain it in Dutch if you want, or in English.
I don't know what to explain. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, when you said, it's a good idea that you create. You know how I didn't want to create GoFundMe at the beginning because I wanted to.
Well, sometimes in like situations that you cannot help yourself, you can always ask for help. And like we're not asking everyone to like donate. We just like some people would maybe have some spare money somewhere, There's always someone out there who might be able to help you out with something. You don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just against that idea because
it doesn't hurt to ask for help. And even a little bit of help is already helping you with getting somewhere closer to your goal than not anywhere at all.
Yeah. I just love the idea of working and making my own money.
Yourself.
Yeah, earn it instead of
I know, but this
ask
is a
for
lot
it.
of money and this is a lot of work. And I know you can do it by yourself. I know. It's just gonna take a lot of time. And I don't know how much time your mom wants to be there.
Yeah,
So
that's the
I think
only.
it's really nice if you could get some extra help out there.
Mhm.
And even if it's just a tiny bit of money, every bit will help.
Mhm. Um, like you said it. I don't know how much time my mom wants to be there. Cause she called me the other day having a mental breakdown about being done living in that house.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like it's fuck. I can't.
Come here. It's okay. You want water?
No, I'm good.
Take a deep breath first.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Okay, she called you the other day.
Yeah. Just crying and just like asking me if we can do something about the house and try to find a different house for her, and how much she was telling me that she's having so much depression and she's always sad, and it's like hell
Mm-hmm.
to her to live in that house, and like she would live anywhere but that house. uh and she was asking if we can call the office and like just find her a different house, but they always do they always say the same excuse: we're working on it, we'll give you guys a call back.
Mm-hmm.
And just things never happen, they
Mm-hmm.
don't do it. And it's sad that she can't work because she's old, and you know anyways, yeah.
So, basically, the moral of the story, your mom has been through a lot, which she always had to take care of others.
Yeah.
Left herself out of there, never took care of herself first. And even now, when she's living here in the US, trying to follow her dream by like living her own life, some things got in the way. So now her house is like infested with bed bugs and roaches, and no one is helping her out. So you're the one to help her out now,
Yeah.
basically.
I really wanna move back to the Netherlands with you and live there, but I really can't.
I know mom comes first.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. You know how much I love
We're
you
gonna
now.
be together the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
Like this one other year, go take care of your mom first.
Yeah.
Make sure she's taken care of, and then you can come to me. That's the most important thing because, she's your family, so she's my family.
Yeah.
She needs to be taken care of too.
Yeah. And back to the point of creating a GoFundMe, I think I do agree with you. Uh, you're right again. The boss, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've decided to create a GoFundMe and just put it out there. I'm still gonna do my videos. I do
Mm-hmm.
still believe that I need to earn the money to buy her the house, but I do think that it's a smart idea to do a GoFundMe so that way I can get help, and also my mom will live in that house that she lives in now less and less, and um and by by how much money people can donate, it doesn't matter how much they donate, but whatever money I get, it would probably make her happy and make her more motivated to see something in her future.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I've set up a GoFundMe. Uh, it's gonna be link in bio. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and I put 500K in it. Um, I'm not expecting people to. I'm not expecting that goal to be achieved, honestly.
Well, that's your goal,
Yeah, but that's my goal. And the reason I put 500K is because what I want to do is buy her a house, like a nice house that has a duplex. That's what we call it here. Like a house, 2 levels, 4 different rooms. And what I want to do is I want to buy her that house. I want her to live in the basement and have the whole space for her. And I want to have the second floor be rented, so that way all of the money that the
Top floor pays
top floor
for
pays pay for rent will go straight to her bucket, and so she can do whatever she wants. She can buy a van and then start traveling, and see her dreams.
Yeah, but that's not important now. First things first.
But first is moving to that house.
Yes.
But the reason why I put that 500K is because
Yes.
uh
But also, if there's something else coming up on the market that's cheaper.
oh yeah, 100% we'll take it.
Right.
It's not like, oh, I want 500K.
Right. It's
I don't
just-
want 5. It's just like a goal.
You don't know when you're reaching the goal and how much the house prices are going to be then.
Mhm.
So for now, this is the main goal.
Yeah. Yeah.
The market is crazy.
Yeah.
And that's shit for some people. And we are those people, sadly.
Yeah.
And your mom just deserves it.
Dude, sometimes I really cry to sleep. I know I don't cry a lot,
I know.
but my
You don't want
my
anyone
mom
to
is the
know.
only person who makes me cry.
I know.
Anyways, that's
She
my mom.
deserves the world.
Yeah, she really does.
And I hope you guys can help us a little bit that, or at least help her with that.
Yeah. Okay, that's a long story, but also that's my mom's story.
Thanks for watching.
Oh my goed.
I know it's a long, emotional podcast.
Yeah.
It's needed. So I hope you guys can help him out and his mom out. It will mean a lot to me and to him and to his mom.
Every time you say mom, I cry. I don't know why. Or tear up.
It's okay.
Yeah. Mama's schatje.
Mama's kindje.
Mama's kindje. Mootje is mama's kindje.
Yeah.
Okay. We gotta
I don't know how
finish
to
the
end
podcast.
this.
Yeah, I don't know either. Dankjewel voor kijken en luisteren. En tot ziens in the next episode.
Doei.
Doei. Okay.
Good
Thanks.
job.